I am going to be here today with my father-in-law, Mr. Axophel Muyimba Ingero. And we're just going to be talking about life experiences, what he can pass on to us, fathers, men. I'm taken over by my daughter. She wants to sit next to her Jaja, which means grandfather in Uganda. The language is Luganda. So I shall find a way to bounce her off the chair.
You can sit on again.
So let me put that on mute so that I can monitor that. So we'll just wait for at least one person to join us in the chat, because it only takes one. Oh, hello, somebody's in the chat. Please identify yourself. I'm here today with my father-in-law, Axophel Muyimba Ingero, and we're going to be chatting about life, about fatherhood. To him, Norai, can you sit over there, please?
Yeah.
My daughter wants to sit next to her granddad. Let's put this over here. You sit over on this side, Noraya. If you have any questions for him, if you just put your questions in the chat as well. But I don't want to show her in it. So, okay, that's better. This is my father-in-law, Mr. Axophel Muyimba Ingero. How are you, Daddy?
Oh, fine, thank you.
Can you tell anyone watching how old you are?
Yeah, now I think it's 74 years.
Are you 74 yet, Daddy?
This September I will be 74, so it means a few months to get it.
Okay, so officially you're 73.
Yes.
To be 74.
Yes.
I'm laughing because we had, when he was in England, we had something that happened and we were trying to work out his age. And it was like, is it 72, 73? He's a bit like me. So obviously at 74 years old, you have a lot of experience, life experience, or we would assume that you'd have a lot of life experiences to share with us.
Yeah, indeed, a lot to tell.
So before we actually get into the nitty-gritties, can you just think of one thing, one message, if you had one opportunity to pass on a message to anyone watching, what would the message be, life message, that would help somebody else in their life as they're living?
This is what I can say. Once you are faithful for yourself, then for others also it comes automatically, and God will increase whatever you want.
So what do you mean by faithfulness? How can someone be faithful in their life?
Faithfulness is very wide. It is something which makes one to be confident of whatever he's doing or whatever he's saying. And with that one, most of people, especially young people, or not only young people, but most of the people, they cheat themselves. At times they pretend to be what they are not. And then from there, whatever they do for others, it becomes false. This is what I said, faithfulness. Even in the family, unless you are sure of what you are.
So being faithful in terms of to yourself and as a result to others. Jedediah, stay down, please. Stay down. Being faithful to yourself and as a result to others is something that you would say is key to living this life that we've been given.
That's correct.
And can help us. So as a father then, how did you find fatherhood as a young man? How did you feel when your first child was born?
Indeed, it is very, 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 very good. And that's then to see that child growing, it makes you feel very, very successful and interesting for you. In most cases, for me, it took me a bit of time before getting children, but when I got my first child, I felt I was in a new world, feeling good to have somebody with me, and the love of children became something which was guiding me to be working for.
So it motivated you that there was somebody who was...
Yeah, correct. Which means I took my family as something separate from the others.
So you felt that, no, I wouldn't say burden, but you felt
family, and again, which makes the mom or the mother to be too much of yours or part of you. Yes.
So, oh, well done. I mean, that they've got, is it Popo? Okay, go and get more Popo. So, so yeah, so you go from two, that God has joined two flesh to become one.
Whom I cannot afford to look after, which means my probability was there, yes, if I get 4, 5 with the maximum.
So that's quite good if you to be able to look after 4 children, because I know myself with 2 kids, that's a handful. Is there anything specifically about Uganda that affected your fatherhood?
No, actually nothing I can mention which have affected my fatherhood. Uganda being a rebel country, in fact, that or the feeling of most of Ugandans to bring out a bit of security or somebody to talk to you or get the advice from.
Okay.
I'm getting old before
having children. Yet you were only, so you really delayed, didn't you?
Yes.
And so now that you're, are there any, like, is there any advice that you can give fathers?
Yeah, the fathers always try to be the model of your siblings, your family, or the children. Whatever you do, the children watch and they take it. So the father has to be very when they are dealing with the children. Otherwise, the model or yourself you should.
So you're saying that specifically then fathers have an influence on by the example that they lead for their families.
Yeah, because they all children they know the father everything, and whatever they see from you, they have maximized the understanding, the knowledge, and all the security. Yeah.
I had someone who mentioned that their father told them something when they were younger, and because they knew that their father would never them and said something that wasn't true, and once they found out that that thing wasn't true, they were devastated because they're like, how could my father lie to me? So I think, yeah, the words of a father kind of hold true to young people or children.
Yeah, certainly. So the father, you have to be careful. Whatever you tell a child, that will stick and make the child move on that line up to the age of the child.
Yeah. And so what I'm getting from you is not just what you tell children, but it's also what you do.
What you do.
Even things that you don't say. So what they see, they
see from you, they copy.
Yeah.
They want you to make it whatever you want. a duplicate of their life.
Mhm.
Yes.
And then, so how did you handle, or let me ask you then, did you feel any weight of responsibility of being the man of the house? How did you how did you feel being sort of the man of the house? How did it feel as an individual?
I was feeling great, and I thought this was making me to do what I could, and even working harder so that my family feels yes, uh, everything is there. I mean, they are lacking nothing, and our society they appreciated it.
And was that because I'm just trying to imagine what it would be like as a man, especially being a man in Africa. You know, the title of the head of the house, you know, the breadwinner, you know, those types of terms. Did you ever feel like that was so because of the way you handled it, you allowed everybody to contribute to that role of moving the family forward? You allowed your children to get involved.
You were the family unit. So even the children knew when we had nothing in the house, we could come and
my husband, who is his son, was telling me about how he went to school. He managed to get a camera, and he went to school and he was actually taking photos of always praises you about is the way that you were able to teach him skills from your profession and from doing things around the house, so electrical things, fixing things around the house. Instead of calling somebody else, you would get in the loft and do it, and you'd make sure all your kids were watching so that they could also.
Electrical engineering, and I knew being proud of it. So I wanted even my children to be proud of me and of what we were doing. So whenever we went to engage in any work, I could take them when they were free to see what I was doing. And this encouraged them so to be, I was repairing it myself. Even children, when they grow up, they saw me repairing cars, motorcycles, building, and so which made them also to catch up and
we call it these days, we call it DIY, do it yourself.
Do it yourself, yeah.
And I can testify that I've got the bug as well. But in fact,
them away from the family, and so that they don't have enough time to associate with their children, which causes them also to be, they don't have time, and this hinders the relation.
And I know that you did that quite a lot, but I'll let you say, but there's something that I
and every time wherever I would go, used to for that, as I said before, I got children when I was about 30 and over. The early age, I didn't have much where I learned a lot more. But when I came back, I concentrated myself to be with my children while working. Somebody who is of your equal, this will make a child to be exactly like you.
And responsible.
And responsible.
Yeah. Because I know at one point, they were so excited because you tell the story of from the moment you left the house to the moment you came back. You know, so it's like, okay, now yeah, today I went on and then you tell the story of everything that happened and up until when you came back home. So you'd really tell them a story about your day. And then if you went to
them and make them feel, yes, that's what we have to do. That, I think with that story, that's how I will handle it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, every time them of what they are, and I'm proud of that.
Yeah, we're proud to have them in our lives as well. I'm sure it's affected all your children, with my husband anyway. and the rest of your children. So, so you're saying that the modern day call them.
Wow.
So she's joined, she's listening in, and she says that sneaking in from work here, I'd love that advice. I'll watch after work. So she's good, not to just think, oh, this is a child that just has to grow up until I can talk to them, but talk to them while they're still young so that they can pick up things from you and mature.
About it, and
see your children wake up. You might not be able to have breakfast with them. Then you come back again when it's dark, when it's late. The children might have already had supper because you're going to have supper late, and then they have to go to bed. So I have to be intentional, and so that they know that there's also a unit, is the father and the mother, if that's the situation that you have.
Yeah, and in addition to that, make the
wonderful